up? My name is Nate Alexander and I work for the Rocky Mountain ATV MC WPS KTM and I work for the rider Blake Bagget. For controls, we use ASV levers. Typically, my starting point for ASV levers is the brake side in 220 millimeters, clutch side 210 millimeters. That's usually the starting point. Levers are pretty much neutral in height, down a little sometimes, but usually it's just feel thing with Blake. He runs the McGrath bend bar, basically -1, which is a little farther back than completely neutral. That also changes track to track. Throttle play, no, not very much play at all. Pretty persistent about adjusting throttle play throughout the day. He's a cable stretcher for sure. Star button, we run pretty low. This year we went to ODI Grip Donuts. Just one thing Blake asked for since he's hurt his thumb. It's a little added comfort. The bar mounts are the PHDS by X-Trig, different elastomers. The rubber mounted, they have different elastomers. They have a little softer elastomer would be the green. This is the medium, but it's also a flex combo of the ODI bar and the mounts. Better for his wrist. With the ODI bars, we also run the ODI throttle tube, as well as their glue-on grips, the white grip, which is usually the softest grip. The brakes on the bike, just in general, we use Brembo. It's the factory master cylinder with the factory caliper. OEM brake lines. Suspension, WP. Everything's done in-house at KTM. We all share settings within teams. Blake just likes his bike pretty well balanced. When he finds something that clicks and he sticks with that. Since round 2, we pretty much built the same setup. The clutch master cylinder is the factory master cylinder we get from KTM. We have carbon fiber guards made for each master cylinder. A little added protection for the pistons. A lot of things are added to the bike for protection. The disc guard is a Cherubies disc guard. We use that. It's there to save the disc. X-Trig clamps is something we did on our own last year. We made the switch halfway through the season. Actually, they work with us a lot and there's a lot of changes that we can make. We have a lot of freedom with them. Brake runs his steering super loose. I have to check the headset quite a few times during the day because the grease once the grease breaks in, it's pretty light. You'll have slop in it, so I'm always adjusting that throughout the day. Brembo caliper, it's just the factory caliper that's available to us. Galfer provides a tsunami disc for us. It has a cutaway in it for cleaning the pads, so you don't less likely to glaze your brake pads. Tone hubs and XL rim. We do run titanium rear axles though. A lot of freedom to pick and choose where we want. Tie bolts versus steel bolts. Radiators are OEM. Start button's on the right, stop button's far left, and the middle, the start map. The start map, there's an LED on the side for it, and it'll flash when it's engaged. All of our engines are provided by KTM. Same set, everyone's pretty much on the same setup right now. Blake always thought he wanted a lot of bottom and everything and a lot of like hard hit. He's I think he's growing away from that. He wants his engine, he wants it rideable. Outdoors, it changes quite a bit because he wants to be able to ride it like a small bike. That's where we get into it with FMF. FMF has a few different options for head pipes and as well as muffler combinations. Engine hangers right now we're OEM. Things will probably change in the future, but a lot of OEM parts for now on this bike. Factory skid plate from KTM. We have tabs welded to the frame to be able to mount the skid plate. Grip tape. Blake coming off of the grip tape like less and less. Grip tape always on the number plates and the frame. Beneficial, but it's more of cosmetic things. Pre-ordered and we cut it ourselves. Seats are OEM seats. Seat Concepts does all of our seat covers. They're incredible. Blake chooses the Diamond, quite a bit more aggressive. They also interlap fuel line in each pleat just for added traction. We have launch control and that's it. It's simple for us. Laced in with our main harness, and it's just one less thing you got to think about. It's easy to pinpoint things when it's like that. What you see is what you get. It's simple, it's easy, and you can tell the person who designed this bike rides this bike. Swing arm pivots, OEM. Not really a fan of titanium. It's more of a cosmetic thing with our bike. We don't need it. The bike is so great. It's so light that it's, like I said, we can choose what works and what doesn't. Rear shock is new for this year. It's just remodeled. It works quite well. It fits well on the new chassis. Spent a lot of time with. We got it down. We know what it's going to do now. It's pretty predictable. Linkage, OEM. We have plenty of options. We can change anytime, but this is just what we we've went back to and Blake prefers it, and we've kind of built our setup around it. Made a switch to Sunstar Sprockets this year. It's the titanium sprocket bolts. I'm a big fan of them personally, as well as Regina chains. All the Regina chains are made in-house, all by hand. Wheel position is pretty key for Blake. He's been stuck on it for a few years now, but he likes to run the wheel pretty center. That's also why we are running this gearing. With where we're at, it's the only place you can be with that gearing combo. Rear master cylinder and rear brake system is they're both the factory Brembo systems. This year we went to the master cylinder with no sight glass, just one less thing to toss out if something to happen. Solid for protection. Foot pegs this year we're running Pro Peg. Blake likes them because they're a little wider platform. They're pretty sharp. The durability is just like long lasting when we run their titanium brake pedal tip. The Cherubi's plastic. All orange this year. The core does all of our graphics. Hints and clutches is all through KTM factory racing. Everything Motorex for this year. We use DT1 air filters. We have a Supercross filter. At times, like for instance, last week at Tampa, we would use the Motocross filter. Blake runs his shifter pretty low compared to most people. Same with the rear brake. It's usually the shifters are usually down a notch. It's something you got to watch for like when it's that low, just for something caught in a rut or something.